Welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs, and welcome back to another Premier Division review show. I'm back. Cian and Philip done a great job, I have to say, last week, so fair play to them, much appreciated. Cheers for that, Cian, by the way.
No worries, bud.
No bother. We'll get into Finn Harps and Dundalk anyway. Finished Finn Harps 1, Dundalk 1 at Finn Park. And so the first half, Cian, was lit up by a wonder strike by Barry McNamee, and it was a goal that was coming because I think Finn Harps were almost tearing Dundalk apart for a lot of that half, to be fair, and deserved to go in 1-0 up, could have been 2-0 up, arguably. I know Duffy missed a chance, but in the balance of play, Dundalk, I wasn't happy, Cian, with them at all. I mean, they've 2 wins in 11. They've a massive wage bill at the club, and I just thought, especially in that first half, and what went on during the week with them, I expected a better reaction, and in the first half, I just thought they were sauntering around the place. The work rate was very poor, particularly from their midfielders, by the way. They weren't tracking runners or anything like that. God knows what Dundalk fans thought, because I wasn't happy with them at all. That's not to take credit away from Finn Harps. Dundalk did come back in the second half and obviously got a bit of a kick at half time and managed to get a goal, but it wasn't enough to get the actual 3 points. What's your overall thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it was fairly the same. I watched the first half mainly. I watched the first half as it happened live. And I was shocked to see how bad Dundalk were. Look, Finn Harps, it's a tough place to go, so I'm not taking that away from them. Like we've seen the best of teams struggle up there, you know what I mean? So I'm not taking anything away from Finn Harps. That's a credit to them. The way they managed the game, the way they played. I thought first half they were superb. Like they were literally head and shoulders above Dundalk. Every ball, they were really good. Look, a moment of brilliance from McNamee. Look, he was a player that really lit up the league in and around 2015, 16 and stuff. And he's gone. He hasn't performed to the levels that he'd want since he left Derry City. So, you know, it's great to see, and you know that kind of gives you a bit like I'm still here type of goal. That is.
He's actually performed well this season, I have to say, overall, hasn't he? In fairness to him.
Yeah, he's been really good off the ball mainly. But look, his traits are with the ball and how they play. And I think everything good about Finn Harps starts with McNamee in the middle. So, you know, he's an excellent player. What a finish. Touch, like brilliant. Just like he didn't even, the keeper just, it was gone before.
For a change, you can't blame the Dundalk keeper there.
No, I don't think anyone was going to stop that. That was a worldie. Like, so, look, a really excellent finish. They'd be disappointed considering how bad Dundalk were to not win the game. And I think it just shows you how far Finn Harps have come as a team. They're disappointed getting a point against Dundalk. Now, look, I know they're not the Dundalk of old, but still, it's still a massive point if you can get it off them because the players they have, I know they're not performing to the level. But you go through that team and you could probably have 5 players out of that team that start every week in your team without a doubt. So it just shows you how strong they are. I don't know. Do you
think Dundalk need a manager ASAP? Or do you think there's some bigger issues there than just simply a manager coming in? You know,
I don't know. You know, it's hard to say, but I would say I don't want them to rush the job. You know, I don't want them to get anyone in just because they're free. You know, like they're doing that. It can't get any worse. Let's be honest.
Not for them, no.
No, like it can't get any worse. So you know, why rush it and get the wrong man in? So I think they're taking their time. They're assessing their options. I thought we would have seen a manager by now. If I'm honest, I thought we would have seen a manager well before now. But you know, we haven't. Jim has come in and he's doing his best he can really with the situation that's there. Must be very unsettling for the players and stuff like that. So, look, there's a lot of things going on there, but I wouldn't be rushing to get a man in the door just for the sake of having a manager.
Yeah, no, I'd be the same. I think we'll move on, Cian. We'll move on to United Park. And unfortunately, I wasn't there. Fortunately or unfortunately, you were there. Drogheda United 3, St. Patrick's Athletic 1. Drogheda, I don't know, I have to give them serious credit here, Cian. I mean, I talked about during the week how, you know, what they're doing off the pitch in Drogheda. And, you know, it's really showing on the pitch, I think. You know, the work rate, the effort. Gary Deegan, your favourite player, I thought he put in a serious effort in this game. I thought he set the tone after 5 minutes. He went in, he clattered Alfie Lewis, sorry, and he got a booking. Now, I know he picked up the booking, but I think he set the tone. I think Alfie Lewis went off on his holidays personally after that. He disappeared for the game. But, Drogheda, I thought, first half, I thought they were decent. I don't think they were absolutely brilliant by any means. I have to say, I thought St. Patrick's Athletic were awful, to be honest with you, Keane. I thought they were behind every 50-50 challenges. They seemed to be not getting in. They were behind, in terms of tempo and things like that. I know they showed a bit more character in the second half, but character starts, I think, from minute one, to be honest. And by far, Pat's worst performance of the season. But I don't want to take anything away from Drogheda either. They're up in 4th place in the league, and not many teams come up, do they, from the first division, Keane, and have the start that they've had. And they just seem to be, gather more confidence as they go along, I suppose. What's your overall thoughts? You were there, obviously, as well, so it was your first away day in a while.
Yeah, look, it was excellent. I can't thank them enough for Drogheda just to get me into the game and look at it. Like, it was really fantastic. I have to say now, in the first few minutes, like you said, Drogheda got a hold of the game, and Gary Deegan in the middle, like, he's a player that you absolutely despise. But if he's playing for you, you'd love him. So he's that type of player, and I say that, like, honestly, I say that with the most credit to Gary. Like, you know what I mean? I don't mean that in a disrespectful way at all. And I
honestly thought, Keane, when he got the early booking, I thought he could be in trouble, but he just seems to temper it a little bit now, more so than he had maybe before, like a bit of experience.
Yeah, he's been excellent for them in the middle, what he does and all. Look, like I said, absolutely despise him. And I mean that as a compliment to him. And I think, I think he'd see that as the biggest compliment.
I think he'd rather people, I agree.
You hate seeing him in the soil coming up against you. Like, it's a typical game, and look, he epitomises everything that happens at Drogheda. Everything goes through him. He's the main man. He's talking. He's giving instructions. He's hitting players when he needs to get them. He lets them know what they're there. So I think Pats knew they were in for the game. I knew going up there I wasn't as confident as you would be in recent seasons, because of what they have, and the players like James Brown and the right is just like the best player in the league at the minute, in my opinion.
You see him close up, you really don't just see how good he does off the ball and things like that. His engine is unbelievable.
I've watched him for 2 seasons now, and he's just been immense. Like, I'm surprised he's still at Drogheda, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful. Like, I'd have him on Pat any day, and I think any team,
all day, every team.
So he's really that good. Everything goes through him as a rifle, like, and that says an awful lot about a player.
And he rarely, the way he gets forward, Keane, he rarely gets caught out of position. That's the amazing thing. Like, he does get back, and he's just a clever player as well. His brain really is brilliant.
Pat, I thought we kind of got a hold of the game after 8 minutes. I'd say after Mountney got that yellow card, we kind of got into it. We had a lot of possession up in the final third. We had a lot of passages of play. Matty Smith, in fairness, I thought was excellent. He was chasing everything down. He was, he was chasing everything down. He was getting on the ball as much as he could, but he didn't get the ball as much as he'd like. But he done an awful lot of work off the ball for Pats, and he really, like, he won an awful lot of balls from pressing and stuff like that. Look, we never got out now of it, but he won the ball, and he got it on a corner and stuff like that. So I thought our work rate was okay. I just didn't think. Look, it was one of them nights. It was one of them awful nights that, like, when the first goal goes in, you're saying, Jesus Christ, right, that was a screamer, fair enough. Second goal was just as good, like, really good technique, finishing into the top corner, excellent. You're going in at half-time 2-0, totally different game than going in at 1-0. So, Pats came out, look, you can see the side, very depleted side in terms of injuries and stuff like that.
That was always going to be an issue. So I thought Benson, particularly, I do think the last few weeks, but he's been a big loss, I think, in my opinion. Yeah, huge loss.
Look, with Derry Bones as well, who's been a massive player for Pats this year, who was probably out for another month. So, it's not great. I didn't, like, second half, we had an awful lot of the ball. we didn't take our chances. We had 2 or 3 decent chances.
Yeah, I think the last 20 minutes, Pat's had a couple of opportunities, all right. I do think we're getting tired and we're sitting deeper as well. There's 2 reasons for that. Obviously, Pat's pushing and them, actually told to sit back basically and try and hit the counter. But funnily enough, Melvin Lampard did do well when he came on. Now, I know Drogheda were tired, but he did do well when he came on. So
he was excellent.
Pats need something like that, something out of the box, extra, let's say, different as well.
He was brilliant when he came on, and got his goal. But not only that, his work rate alone, like in the fourth, he was only on the pitch, I think, about, I'd say, 20 seconds. And he got on, he made a couple of challenges and held onto the ball really, really well. And I was saying, okay, this is good. But, even when Pat scored, you still sensed we were going to get a draw out of it. You sensed it. It was only a matter of time before we scored. That's what probably everybody looking at the game thought. And you get caught in the counter. It happens. Look, caught in the counter. 3-1. The defending probably could have been better for the 2 goal. But now that's been a little bit harsh in terms of pushing for the game. There's only a couple of minutes to go. I'd much rather it lose 3-1 than 2-1, because if you didn't go for it,
rather than let the game tail off, let's say.
And I have to say, I think one thing as well with Stevie, he probably made the subs a little bit late. But in general, Stevie, we didn't really have players on the bench as well. So, but look, in general, Stevie has been fantastic. He's been very proactive. Like, if you make a sub, he changes it straight away. And, if you need a goal, you change it, you go for it. And I love that about a manager. Look, it was one of them days for Pats. I don't think they were awful. I don't think they were really awful. I just thought Drogheda really stepped it up. They were excellent. And everything is just so well drilled into them. And how Drogheda play. So I'm not going to give Pats too much criticism, but I'm really going to praise Drogheda here, because I thought that's probably their best performance of the season. And the way they played, I was so impressed. I really was. And you can see what they're building here.
What impresses you most about them now that you've seen them close up? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's the work rate. Look, everything. Gary Deegan in the middle is excellent. Look,
there's a good mix, though, isn't there, of experienced lads and young lads. The young lads are good players, but they have Dane Massey to hold it. Even Dan O'Reilly, I think he's 24, but there's a bit of leadership in him as well, isn't there?
Yeah, he's a great player. Look, Drogheda are going to be okay this year. I think everyone knows that. The likes of James Brown in your side and Conor Kane, you're 2 top-class wing-backs, and what they give you. Like, you're seeing it throughout the years with Massey and Gannon, Bermond, Gerard O'Brien. These are the 2. But I really think James Brown and Conor Kane can be as good as them on that day. The way they're playing, they're really good. So I'm not criticising Pats too much. I just thought Drogheda were excellent in the game, and just didn't give them an edge, didn't give them anything to go at, and I respect that.
Longford Town 0, Bohemians 2, and I suppose with Bohemians, I think Ian there, I spoke about them a few weeks ago, how they were still searching, trying to find a formula. I think they found it now in the last 2 weeks. That midfield of Tierney, Devoy and Buckley is really starting to gel together. Cooch on the right, Burt on the left, who has been good even in their bad form. I think at this minute in time, last few weeks, you see that formula is really working well for them. They're now picking up results. I thought they won this game reasonably comfortably. Longford worked hard. There's nothing, you can't deny them that, but it's going to get difficult for them, I think, because they're, as the season goes on, the quality in this league as well. But Burt and Coote, of course, got the goals as well. Great win for Bohemians. I think they are starting to chuckle along a little bit now, aren't they?
Yeah, look, we said it a few weeks ago when they got 2 wins on the bounce, and look where they are now. So they went back into a rough, so they want to be putting that away now and getting 3 points next week. I mean, it's nothing this week then. I thought they managed the game really well. There was nothing really between the sides up until the goal. Look, Longford didn't have many chances in the game as such. There was a lovely, I think the only chance probably came from Ali Coote defending. They had a ball into the box from a free kick and he nearly scored an own goal. I think that was really the only chance that Longford had up before it, so there's always that bit of nervousness about Bowes defending lately.
It's still there, that side of it, isn't it? Yeah.
Like when they score, and now when they score the 1-0 and Longford have a free kick or a corner, I think probably people are saying, here we go again. So, they'll want to be putting that right. I thought, I just thought they managed the game well. They scored at the right times, and that was key. Like, Longford could have easily put the pressure on the last couple of minutes. And, Bowes shut her up with a goal. And 2-0, very, very good performance. Very tough place to go and get a win.
It was a professional performance, actually, I'd call it, really.
They were excellent. And look, they need to back her up with a win next week. Look, Longford again, they're still battling. They're still going. They're lacking something at the minute. They're lacking that confidence. They're lacking that bounce of the new season that they had it maybe earlier on in the year.
And that's the thing, like the funny thing, they have done. I know that it sounds weird, but they've won one match in 11 and they have performed well. But it's just going to be very difficult for them to pick up points. There's a small little gap developing now as well. I know it's only 3 points, but you can see Derry picking up more results, etc. You know what I mean? And getting more wins. And obviously Bows and Harps are a bit higher and Drogheda are higher up. So it's a difficult one for them, in fairness, isn't it? They probably need more goals all round in their team, but it's easier said than done. Like it's a difficult division, this, like.
Yeah, it's really tough. Like we're saying, Drogheda beating Pats, who have had one of the best seasons they've had in I don't know how long, a year starting was.
Yeah.
So, it just shows you anyone could beat anyone that day. And, Longford will be picking up points. They're going to take points. They were very hard to beat. Like there was nothing against them and Shamrock Rovers. Like, I know Pats won the game 3-0, but as funny as it sounds, there was nothing against them. There was nothing between the sides either.
And even when they lost 4-0, came the Drogheda, funnily enough, they actually had opportunities in that game as well. It was a bit harsh, the scoreline.
Yeah, so, they're well in games, and that's going to stand for something towards the end of the season. Now, teams are going to be going there. It is going to be tough. Like, if Longford score, they're very rarely going to lose. So, if they can get that first goal, in my opinion, they'll do all right. But, just a little bit worrying, that gap. And look, even the other end, there's a little bit worrying with the gap of Shamrock Rovers, So both ends, there's a tiny gap in the relegation zone, but up the top, it might start opening up now.
Yeah, do you see Bowes? They're back in the running for Europe pretty much. You see them, or are you still a little? Yeah.
I always thought they would be.
Yeah, same here personally. Yeah.
I always thought they would be in the running for Europe. Look, it's going to take time. If they were to finish anywhere in the top 4, it'd be a fantastic season for Bowes again. I think that's Bowes' limit. I don't think they can actually go any further. So, finishing Europe would bite your hand off all day for it.
Absolutely, and I'm sure they'd love to win a cup, but that's another thing, I suppose.
Yeah.
Shamrock Rovers won, Derry City won, and as you mentioned there, Shamrock Rovers are now 6 points clear, still unbeaten. They were tested a little bit in this game, though, obviously with the penalty and that. What did you make of the penalty, first of all? Did you think it was fair or a bit soft or what?
I would have given it.
He gets the wrong side of him, does he? And ends up kind of tripping him up, more or less. I'm not saying it's a deliberate trip, but that doesn't mean it's not a penalty either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, it was a penalty, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Look, Derry were excellent defensively off the ball. They weren't. Look, they didn't do anything going forward in the game. And look, you don't expect them to. They're coming to the home of the champions. If you try and go toe to toe with them, you're going to be beaten, and that's the truth.
It's
so
very difficult.
They had a really good game plan and a walk to 3. They got a bit. I wouldn't say a bit of luck. It was deserved bit of luck with the penalty, and then all of a sudden, like, you're 1-0 up. You're saying to yourself, okay, we have a chance there. Then I just don't know. Like, that was. I've been around the league so many years now, and we've seen some shite. But this is by far up there with the biggest load of shite I've ever seen. I can't get over it.
The more I looked at it, Keane, I kept looking at it. It was like looking at a car crashing away. I kept going, I don't understand this. I mean, it's a throw for a start. It's about 10, 15 yards away. How the ref doesn't see it, but how the lines, where's the linesman looking? I'm not being funny, and I'm not one that comes out and overly criticises referees either, and you don't either. I usually look at the context of everything. this is inexcusable. Like, how do you not see? Where's the linesman looking? And once he sees that being thrown there, he has to call it back and say, hey, lads, there was a Shamrock Rovers player getting ready to take the throw from the actual position game. So he also had 2 balls in the pitch at one point as well to add to the farcical nature. Now, I've seen people come out and criticize Shamrock Rovers and all this. It's not their fault. Come on, let's be right here. The officiation here is just, I don't know what that was. I don't know. Just take over.
Yeah, look, it's not great. It shouldn't have. Like you see it now. Look, we see it every week where a player's taking a throw in and he runs 10 yards up. The ref calls him back, and he still runs 10 yards up and throws it. So that happens in every league in the world. But it was just so blatant here. Like, it was literally like the ball went out just after the halfway line, and they took her on the edge of the box. And
take a corner. Why not? Take it where you want.
Before the camera even got hold of it was in the net, like.
So that's true, actually.
So I couldn't believe it. I was watching that. Obviously there's no fans. So I seen the ball go in the net. No, I seen the ball go in the net, and I says, look, it's a strike, but it's going to be brought back in anyway. And then I seen them celebrating, and I thought, I said, no, something going on here.
The commentary didn't even bring it up, did they? As far as I remember.
No, I was watching that game. So I was impressed with how competitive the game was.
Yeah.
And I was delighted. Look, I thought Derry were superior, but I don't think Rovers were good at all.
Do you think Rovers would be disappointed, though, after getting the goal that early in the second half, that they didn't kick on and win the match, though?
They didn't really have any chances, though, to win. Like, I was listening to Bradley after the game, and I don't know what games he'd just be watching. I'm sorry, but I don't. Like, he said he had 5 clear-cut chances, or 3 really good chances or something. And I can't see that. I don't know what game he was watching. I thought Derry were comfortable. Look, I don't know. It just shows you that they're now, like, they're beatable. Like, they're not unbeatable. They're not going to go the season unbeaten.
No, I think that's it, Keane. A lot of people have been saying to me that some people said to me I'm overrating Shamrock Rovers. I don't think I'm overrating Shamrock Rovers. What I'm doing is I'm saying I don't think there's anyone that can challenge them. That doesn't necessarily mean... I actually think they're a little bit weaker than they were last season, funnily enough, in my opinion. But I just don't think we have a team that can really push them. That's more the point, isn't it, this season, I think?
Look, it takes time.
Like, Dundalk technically should be up there. They should technically, but they're not. Nowhere near it.
No, it takes time to build a team. And I think Sligo are building one. I think Pats are building one. And I think they're going to be, look, Dundalk probably as well in time when they sort what they're doing now. They will be up there. I think Bows are a little bit off. I think Pats at the minute, which is mad. If you decided that last year, it'd be mental. So I just think Pats, Sligo and all, we're going to close the gap over the coming seasons. I don't know at the minute. They're going to win the league this year.
You feel like, though, they know they're going to win the league, and not in an arrogant way. It's a strange one to kind of say, if you know what I mean. But that they don't have to do too much. You just get that sense with them. They'll win the league this year, and I just think it's been like they haven't started yet, and they're up there and they've a comfortable enough lead at the top of the table. So, in fairness, a club like Rovers should be like that every year, like Ajax and stuff like that. And, exactly.
They should be winning the league every year. Everyone should be playing for second.
Particularly since they moved into the new stadium. Like, I obviously seen them for years where they were moving around ground and they didn't have a proper support. No. And they were the worst team in Dublin for about maybe 15 years, Cian, which is hard for people to maybe fathom today, but they were.
Yeah, look, they were down there all right. They were in the gutter. They got themselves back out. Now they're reaping the rewards for that. And look, there's a lot of hard work gone into that club. And look, you can't take that away from them.
Yeah, I think because of who they are, they are the biggest club in the land, that they never get that credit, do they? But that's sometimes that's the price you pay. You can be if you're the biggest club. that's the way football goes.
But they've been excellent, and it's fully deserved where they are at the title and how they won it last year. Fully deserved, and this year, I don't think anyone will come close to them in the league. I don't think they'll win the cup now, I'll be honest.
Cup is, you never know with the cup.
Yeah, I don't think they'll win the cup though. I just think other teams are going to be up for that now because it's a big one now for the likes of Pats, Sligo, Bowes, Dundalk, stuff like that. Anybody in the league can win the cup. So, it's going to be a big one. I'm impressed with Derry. I just think, they're picking up points. They need to start winning the Brandywell now and everything will be okay for them. Yeah, definitely. Look, guys, we'll leave it there. Thanks for joining us again. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, hit your bell notification button so you don't miss a video. And let us know what you think in the comments. Lovely. Cheers, Keane. Cheers, bud. Sound.